I ended off ending last episode quite hastily, so I never finished my line between the bauxite mine, the forest camp, the machine shop, and the aluminium plant. So I was thinking that today I would try to rectify that and finish off those routes. So because my character's a little bit far away from where we're building, we're just gonna go into aerial map mode. So let's to the left. How long is that? Just using my fingers on my screen to sort of measure out. Yeah, I think the 125 is technically slightly shorter. I don't know why that's the case. Anyways, let's use that. Let's connect that back up. We're only at 6042 now. Just gonna check. Yeah, the switch stand's not intersecting. What I wanted to see about doing is bringing that track up to the forest camp, and that looks like it's going to create a 3% line. But that is fine because we don't strictly need that line, it's just an alternative to the other lines that we have. What I'm going to do now is trestle spline up to here, because that's also 3%. It's all 3% actually, so as long as stuff can handle 3%, then we'll be golden. Yeah, so I'm just gonna put... I didn't realise just how much money I would have drained away from me quite so quickly. Yeah. I think last episode I actually built a bunch of tracks around the aluminium plant, but for some reason my save hasn't saved it, and also we are out of money again. Yeah, so, regular straight track. I think we went out to here on both tracks. Okay, we're out of money again. What I was sort of hoping of doing was in this episode we get all of the tracks running and then we deliver some aluminium, or bauxite, because we don't yet have aluminium because we're not smelting it or making it in the plant, but seems like just to make some money we'll have to get some aluminium. We're here at the food factory. I think these cars can take bauxite in them, but what I'm going to do first is, just to make switching the points a lot easier, is I'm actually going to use these reversing loops exactly for what they're intended for, and I'm going to run my engine around the train. Because I've left the locomotive without any coal for ages, then it's run out of fire, which is really annoying. What I might do is once this episode airs, which the prior episode hasn't yet aired as of time of release, but once this episode comes out I might start like making mega live streams in order to show how I'm farming materials, because I'm farming quite a lot off camera, because I feel personally that running back and forth is quite boring, but yeah, this this is a train game and I'm running the trains off camera and I'm only building and buying on camera. So it seems like every time I spend money it's on camera, every time I earn money it's off camera. Anyways, we're now coupled in the other way. We're going to head through what bankrupted me last time, and then we're going to load up at the bauxite mine, because I have been delivering quite a lot there. And at the bauxite mine, there should be a lot of bauxite. And bauxite, pretty sure that just means raw aluminium ore, which is basically aluminium with rock and a bunch of other stuff that you don't want, that you need to get rid of, which is why you take it to the aluminium plant with a bunch of cordwood and coal. That does remind me that the existence of the need for coal does suggest that we should be making our way to the quarry, which probably I'd make another switch off there, head to the quarry, and then I'll have to have a shuttle service that moves backwards and then moves forwards around this way. Yes, we've just emerged. I missed it, but there's two tunnels technically, because the gap in the middle isn't exposed, but that's primarily what bankrupted me, as well as the fact that all of this is to be dug into. But anyways, we're now here at the bauxite mine, and we need to be here in person in order to switch all the points correctly. What? I'm just thinking, this will influence how I make some sort of it. How do... Okay, aluminium ingots literally just go to the machine shop. So what I might do then is, off of this end... Actually, that's pretty close to the fishery. I might just loop it round and then plug it back in, but I might take a detour around to the fishery, since there's no point in not connecting it up. But yeah. So we stopped a little bit early. We need a lot of coal in the firebox because it keeps running out. So it's throttle down, brake up. No, too much. And then we stop. Yeah, I've been delivering quite a lot of beams and lumber. We don't want gravel, we want bauxite ore. It's 25 a piece, so it's not going to sell for a little amount, but it's not going to sell for a huge amount. So... No, because we don't need to run efficiently quite yet, we just need to switch the points. Low reverser, low throttle. And then, okay, so this is just the point that needs switching, and that one should be straightforward. I want the machine shop to be a big place of operations, and if I get other players that's why on the server, that's why I've got 4 tracks as opposed to the regular 2, or maybe even 3 on the routes that are meant to be mainline. Oh, I'm in debt, negative 183. Yeah, that's why I built 4 pass-through tracks, even though it cost me quite a lot of money to build. It's worth it in my eyes to have the machine shop as a big pass-around area. Yeah, so we're just heading up the hill with the load. I don't know how much having the load affects it, because I know that having wheel slip is a thing that occurs, but I don't know whether that's just because I'm trying to push something quickly or stuff. Yeah, so this has kind of bankrupt. Oh, that's why we're going a bit slow. We've not got much pressure. Let's drag the reverser up. For some reason, going up hills with the reverser up in this game, it's not very realistic, but it does sort of make it run faster uphill, which shouldn't be the case. It is the case, but it shouldn't be. It's just, as we come up, we're going to discuss what we've got. We've got this set of points, which we're going to direct down over that way, and then we're going to loop the aluminium plant all the way around. I'm just thinking the fact that the aluminium plant only delivers to the machine shop, we probably don't need that set of points, because I wasn't planning on looping it around. So let's... And also it's floating, which is a little bit annoying, so let's just delete. Oh no, I've screwed up, because we're now at negative 88. And you can't place points at negative 88 because they cost 100 cash. And understandably, the developer made things so that you can't place them if you don't have the money. And they only recently actually made it. Well, probably recently. I assume it's recently because it didn't happen when I last played. Whoa! 165. It's almost as high as fish. Okay, we're going to have to deliver some cordwood, but that shouldn't be a big problem because we're right next to the place that produces cordwood. Which will also have high demand bonus. 82 when it's regular bonus. Okay. So we've now got 10 there. I did sort of want to run my train. We're at 1,000. That's quite a lot. Right, I'm just going to repair this. Like that. I did sort of notice that this track... It's annoying me that it was floating, so huge embankment and plot like that, and that it doesn't even meet the floor. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'll have to fix that all later. The most annoying thing is the fact that the points float and they don't have embankment that go. Oh, and because of how it renders, you can just see the track from underneath. That's probably even more annoying, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know how we're going to have to solve that, because it has to be like that to have it smooth enough. So we're going to line ourselves to the forest camp, because we have the right cars for cordwood, and I don't know whether this is a food factory situation where you need 2 of the products that it inputs to produce the output, or if you need the coal as well as the cordwood and the bauxite. I'm hoping that we just need the cordwood and the bauxite and it just uses a lot of cordwood. Because if that's the case, then we can immediately be starting to produce aluminium and then bring it down to the machine shop. Slight annoying thing is how long that route to the regular mine is. Anyway. Something fun is that we have constructed that slope from the forest camp down that way. Probably would have been nice to have been able to Y it, but if I make any adjustments to that off camera, then I'll let you know about it, but it's probably going to say pretty similar to that. It's, it's kind of insane how close the aluminium plant is to the forest camp, and that's part of why I'm not too concerned about the slopes being extremely steep, because the slopes being extremely steep can be mitigated by the fact that the forest camp line's like 2.5 at most, and I can take a lot of product up this way. I don't know why we didn't slow down quite so quick. Yeah, I can take a lot of product up this line, so I'm not concerned if like we have other steep lines to get to the bauxite processing aluminium plant, because we can always just route it through the forest camp if it's too much. I'm just primarily making those routes to save a lot of time. Forest camp logo break. I was delivering logs earlier, so it would be defaulted to logs, so cordwood. I was primarily just delivering logs to the lumber mill, literally just because it had run out of products that it was making, because I was delivering them all to the bauxite mine to produce a lot of bauxite. So let's reverse the throttle, and we're going to see if it actually makes aluminium. If it does, that'll be amazing, because I can bring some aluminium to the machine shop. So let's just check 10 ton ballast, bauxite and stuff, flat wagon, not that. This one can take iron and aluminium. This one can take the same amount of iron and aluminium, which is interesting. I'll probably take the one that I have 2 of as opposed to the one that I have 6 of, simply because there'll be less weight and less dead weight if I find out that I'm not reducing much. But yeah, so I kind of do want a lot of money quickly, so I can go aluminium fishery and loop back into the machine shop, and then we can split off to farm, Sanderbar farm, and brickworks after that. There's a coal mine, iron mine, coal mine, lumber mill, coal mine, distillery, all the way off in the distance. I think the distillery's kind of close, and I'll see what relation the distillery is to the farm and brickworks route, because if it's close, then I want as much. I assume it produces rum, because that's what it did on the last map that I played. Distillery, rum. Yes, I want as much rum to be sold as possible, because it is quite a decent seller. It's not a hugely amazing seller, but it is quite decent to be able to just sell rum. I don't know where the rum goes, actually. Let me just check again. Distillery, rum. Yeah, the rum's like the final point. Should have some high demand bonus as we drop this off. 60. It's quite decent. I delivered 12 cordwood and 10 bauxite. It's consumed 2 cordwood and 1 bauxite, which means it probably is actually delivering aluminium. I'm just gonna check once again, because I don't have them memorized. Can this carry ingots? No. Can carry rum, which is very important. I don't know if we're producing ingots actually right now. Okay. Check back on it later, but yeah. Right. It's slightly interesting the keybinds to do reverser upwards and downwards with W and S and throttle with A and D, because I played another game called Streamlined. It also costs Robux. I think it's about 25 Robux right now. But that one, it doesn't have reverser. You can't go backwards, but the throttle is on W and S, which to me makes a little bit more sense, because the throttle's what actually makes you move, whereas the reverser just picks a direction. So in my mind, having W and S for the throttle is better. It's also a bit weird because there is no brake, and I think Q and E could have been assigned to the brake. Or they could have had like a custom binds menu that let you assign the binds. But what I'm thinking of doing now is I might just deliver a lot of cordwood off camera, and then that'll keep the demand bonus for aluminium quite high. Cordwood doesn't sell too much anyway, so I don't mind if I sell that with not much profit. So I'm going to deliver a lot of cordwood, and then I'm going to deliver some bauxite, and I should have more money, and then I'll deliver the ingots. I'll deliver the ingots on camera if there are a bunch of ingots for me to deliver. But anyways, cut. I've delivered a bunch of bauxite ore and cordwood to the aluminium plant, and it's producing aluminium ingots, because it doesn't need coal, and I thought it might need coal, but it doesn't. So it's just producing 58 aluminium ingots, so I think it's time for us to head back to the freight depot and pick up the cars that will let us transport the aluminium ingots with us. I think the slight issue that I've got right now is that I've parked the two cars for like the lumber there, and I've parked the log ones there, and they both take aluminium, and I want to take both of them, but that kind of leaves me with no track to park these ballast wagon cars. I've just realised that I am now taking the long route, which is not what I intended, because I meant to go the other route, but it's fine, we'll take the long route. I don't know whether we'll be able to take our route down from the aluminium plant with just 6,526, because we need to make our way round, probably around the edge of this coastline, all the way down to the fishery, which will cost quite a lot of money, and then we can connect there, and then have a switch off at the farm that then connects us back over. And actually, I'm going to start shoveling a bunch of coal, but since the train's going nowhere, doing not much, just thinking maybe we could, like right now, try and see about connecting to the farm. So what gradient is that? It's about -2, which is very preferable. So you can head up, track objects. I'm gonna use, oh, it's a bit laggy, gonna use that one. I also found that under the planner, 23 industry guide, you can clip these onto the edge of the industry, and they're super useful. Like build mode on, we can actually just go plonk, then we can go plonk, then we automatically have working industry double track stuff, which is really useful to have. I'm a bit concerned about whether the train, oh, it's here at the food factory. So yeah, we've now connected the farm. We're down to 3,823 cash. I'm going to finish this farm extension. Let's have build mode on, then we can go out here, then we can have these points, blop, and then we can go blop, and then we can go back this way, and we can stretch it out. Just have a little lead. Something you might have noticed is that I did actually relay all of these tracks whilst I was running. It did actually cost me quite a bit of money. I probably would have had 15,000 probably around there if I didn't relay those several times, but I did that so that the tracks weren't floating and stuff like that, because it did look a bit ugly with all the tracks floating. And yeah, I don't know how to get rid of the rain on this map, because the rain gets a little bit annoying. If I just set the time to like 9 in lighting terms, does that change it? Nope, that does not change it. The rain is now just constantly happening. What about 10? No. Okay, so the time is completely independent of the raining conditions. You, the audience, might not notice the rain conditions because I might have turned it down in editing because my voice is being recorded separately, but I definitely noticed the rain. I also was just thinking about a way that we can couple those two sets of cars together without having these cars blocked up. We're gonna have to dump these here. Then we're gonna have to couple those. Okay, when it lags, my camera controls don't behave very well. But park here. I said park here. Nope. Why is it not? Oh, it's very lucky. Is it stopped? Yes. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop out. I'm going to push them backwards a little bit. I have no idea why it's extraordinarily laggy right now, but right, what the plan is we're going to take these cars, then we're going to shove them into the other track with the other cars, and we're going to move the 10-ton ballast wagons into this siding. Yeah, it's a bit annoying how I've done this and how few shunting lanes there are. Okay, so coupled, yep. It's surprising how fast it stops when it's more laggy, but anyways. I don't know why it's laggy, because OBS says it's running at smooth 60. Okay. So now we're gonna run out and set the points. That something funny is that it does temporarily cause that to derail, but then it heads back onto the track. So we're going to now set those points like that, and then lag spike. We're going to decouple. We're going to just push it, because for some reason it's a viable strategy. We can just push these things with our player, and then they'll just gain momentum and roll. Evidently not much momentum. What I've got to do is I'm going to create a save. Quite funny the fact that when you push with your character, it does actually push the cars, which means that you can sort of slightly unrealistically move them about. So I'm just gonna make use of that. It's also slightly annoying that they auto couple, because you can give them enough speed for that. Anyways, you get plonked in there, you get plonked. Now it's time to reverse into these cars and hopefully make our way towards the aluminium plant. I'm gonna, before we do anything, do they couple? No, that just made a derailment. Epic. That's totally what I wanted. No, it's not. And I'm not separating. There. No, there, coupled, right. I'm gonna do, before we depart, I'm gonna do, before I forget, a thing to make sure that we go the right way, and that's just flip this switch over here. And I just need to do that because otherwise they'll forget like I did a little bit earlier and just take the long route. And we have some aluminium ingots to deliver, so we want to be taking the short route wherever possible. Alright, so we've left the engine for a little while, so the coals... Ooh, didn't realise the tender went this low. I did, when I hit the save button, I did completely reload the world, because the game was lagging. I've seemed to fix it slightly, but whenever you reload the world, the coal level goes downwards. So we need to pull this entire consist out and break. I forgot how much mass these things have. The higher mass means it takes longer to both accelerate and decelerate, because you have to put more force into changing the motion of it. Anyways, let's reverse her slightly in reverse, because for some reason that's better than to start with. I don't know why the game simulates it like that, but I guess it is easier to just always make it so that reverse her slightly in reverse makes you faster, at least if you can push the load, or pull the load in most cases, but we're pushing because it's easier. Yeah, we should be taking the short route, because if we head into map mode, it's a little squiggle up the landscape, and that just takes us to the forest camp. Then from the forest camp, I think it's already lined to the aluminium plant where we need to be. The unfortunate thing is we haven't set up the line yet so that we can go all the way around, meet with the fishery, but that'll come later. We did connect up the farm though, and now we'll have a switch out the farm that goes like wee, and we'll set up a Y. Something I keep catching my eye on is there's just a random piece of land out here, and I don't know why. Strange. Is there any other secrets? Doesn't seem like it. Nope, it just looks like water that just ends over here. Oh, the entire map is just a square. That's pretty fun. I would at some point like to connect up the shipyard, but... Oh, that's interesting. Doesn't look like it has any products that it makes. It just seems like we go to the shipyard and then unload our products, and then it builds ships, assumingly. And that'll probably be what we connect off the slaughterhouse. We do at some point definitely need to connect up the quarry, because having cut stone, coal and gravel will be extraordinarily useful. Although I don't know if that meant it takes in or gives out cut stone, because I think it gives out cut stone. So almost at the forest camp. This is the short way, because the other way is freight depot, bypass the clay pit, straight through the food factory, long route round to the bauxite mine, and then up to the bypass the machine shop, and then up to the aluminium plant. But this way it's just a short little squiggle up, and then we're already at the forest camp. Once you're at the forest camp, you're practically already at the aluminium plant. Not quite at the aluminium plant, but very close to it. Like, it's probably the shortest journey on the line, maybe, besides bauxite to machine shop, but you'd never take that journey normally. I think one of the longest that we'll end up setting up, if I continue with the farm sandbar, farm brickworks, would be clay pit to brickworks. Unless it's the lumber mill to something like one of the iron mines or something. Oh, I just realised how annoying that's going to be, because the iron mines, I think that's the only way to get iron, and it's all the way up there. And the ironworks is all the way down there. So that's going to be really annoying to get to. Anyways, we're almost at the aluminium plant, and we can load up some ingots. I don't know how much of a train we're going to fill, but we're going to take all of our train just in case. And also, I did just remember that I'm going to forget to set the points. Oh no. Whew. I thought we were gonna run off the edge of the spline there, which would have been disastrous, because we'd have had to have rerouted the entire train. Okay, this is having a hard time accelerating it. Yeah, I relayed the aluminium plant tracks with the technique that I showed at the farm, where you just use the industry guide, and it worked quite well, so... Right, drift. Right, locomotive brake, and then stop. And I think they hold the same amount of aluminium ingot. Oh, we've produced 63. Oh, they just stack up like that. Okay. I've not seen aluminium ingots in this game yet. So let's accelerate. Oh, despite being at full power, it's still taking a while to accelerate the entire load. We're gonna transport this as many times as we need to clear out the ingots. Also, I didn't pay much attention to how much we bought. 83! Goodness, that's the selling price of bauxite. And for that to be the buying price of the ingots, they must sell for a lot. Goodness. That's quite a lot of cash. I still don't know what they're selling like, but for a tiny short while, we'll have the 2 times bonus when we deliver to the machine shop, but goodness, that's a lot of cash. Okay, we did go from 60 something down to 30 something, so we should only need 2 deliveries. That's 31, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in our consist, times 4. 8 times 4, that's 16 times 2, 32. Okay, so we'll be missing 1 of it. How is it finding it so hard to accelerate? Like, it's really struggling to accelerate. Like, extraordinarily suffering. Oh, I forgot. Okay, phew, we were going slow enough. I did just realise if we don't manage this hill carefully, we'll go creaming down all the way back up to like the food factory or even the clay pit. And that would take ages for us to decelerate and then head to the machine shop. Also, I have noticed that I haven't chopped that tree. I did say that I'd forget to switch that point, and then I forgot to switch the point to make sure that I didn't forget to switch the point, which is excellent work. Forgetting to do something so that you don't forget to do something and then end up catching it later. I just realised we're out of coal in the firebox, which is to be expected with running the reverser into it. So I'm going to run the reverser backwards, which will then resist this motion, which should slow us down, or at the very least resist speeding up, and then it's going to turn. This is going to take quite a long time for us to stop, actually. Oops. Well, that's one way to stop if you're in a hurry. Put the entire load in the dirt. Okay, that's a little bit annoying. I'm just gonna like cut the video, and then just like in the future we'll reroute. I was trying to pull the switch onto the straight line because I thought, oh, we're going with so high speed that we'll just derail as we go around the corner, and I didn't realise that no, we just had so much speed that when you do anything, you just we just had so much speed that we wouldn't have derailed, but I flipped the switch, which meant that we did derail, which meant that I've had to spend a while putting everything back on the tracks. So I could couple everything up manually now. I've no idea what the locomotive settings are currently at, but I hope they're not too high. Just remember that I'm going to have to protect the shove here because the locomotive's on the wrong end of the train now. And I don't know how we're lined, so I'm going to have to slow the locomotive to like there, and then head up front and protect the shove so that we can get back in the locomotive once we're once we've done that. Oh, that's so annoying that we derailed there. The stupidest bit is that it wasn't even the fact that we were going really fast, which I was trying to prevent, that caused us to derail. It was the fact that I tried to change the track so that we wouldn't derail, but the game takes a little while to switch the points, so we just immediately, oh, this track's floating, I'm gonna have to relay that though. So. But like, we were going down the corner. I thought we would have derailed if I didn't switch the point, but I did switch the point, and we derailed because of it. Right, which tracks? Oh, that's interesting. Okay, I didn't need to protect the shove of the tree. Okay, I can't wait to sell this aluminium though, because it's gonna sell for so much. And once it all sells, then we'll go back, drop off the other load of aluminium, and then we'll be rich as heck. And then hopefully we'll have enough money that maybe in the next episode, because I've been recording on Audacity for 38 minutes, but maybe in the next episode we'll go from aluminium plant down to fishery and loop back into the farm, so that we don't have to double back on ourselves like we just did there. Because having to stop and take up the main line and reverse is quite annoying, and it takes up time, and we could have spent that time elsewhere. Anyways, I just realised that I built the tracks too far apart from the... Oh my goodness. I built... The first we have a derailment, and then second, I can't even sell the aluminium ingots because I didn't build the track close enough to the machine shop. And I'm not spending 20,000 on the platform thing that I found whilst farming industry platform. I'm not spending 20,000 on one of these just so I can not have to redo that, because that cost way more. So it costs 20,000. I thought I read 200,000. I was like, there's no way in heck that anyone's getting 200,000 without spending significant amounts of time on this game. Oh, that was really annoying. And also, that track's floating. I'm gonna fix floating track off camera, because that's really annoying, and I don't always have time to do it on camera, but like, track, just laying down the routes that is stuff that I do on camera. Oh, this bit's really annoying. Kind of aches my soul having to do this. Anyways, planner 23 inch. But also, I just realised, since we're going to have a lot more space, do expect for in the next episode that there is the possibility that we'll have a lot more tracks. Right, so you... Surprised you can do the map for... I'm going to head into map mode just so I don't have to run all the way over, but... Bop. And then bop can... Just going to do this so that it doesn't break stuff. I'm going to do there. I'm going to click there, head out of map mode, head to there, and there, to there, and there. Once again, we're just going to do that manual placement. We're going to head back in. I just realised that I do need to delete guides, which cost 0, I think. We're down like 200 cash, I think. That's fine, because we've got a really big load to sell now. It's going to be a lot of money. I've just realised that my microphone wasn't down that entire time, so I'm going to have to boost the volume in post. Anyways, reverse full forwards, throttle full forwards, add a bunch of coal. Did we wheel... I think we're wheel slipping right now because the load's so big. Nothing should have its brakes on. We're just wheel slipping because it's... We're in a wheel slip. What if I move the reverser down? What? Anyways, right, so we're approaching machine shop. I do just need to check that the machine shop does in fact take aluminium, because if it doesn't, then I'll be extremely stupid. Yes, it does. It also takes coal and iron. Yo, 415 for the high demand. Oh my goodness, that's so much. 207 for the demand bonus. Okay, we're definitely gonna use up all of this demand bonus very quickly, but oh my bejeebus, I don't know what to say. We're rich now. We've got just, it feels weird to say just 6,000 after the long adventures that we've been on with less cash, but yeah, it is just 6,000 in the terms of looking at what we started with, which was 20,000. But man, we have so much money. I can't wait to see what tools sell for generally. Oh, it's still 155 when you sell normally. But because it's 155 when you sell normally and we don't have either of the other two ingredients hooked up, I'm just going to sell to the freight depot just to avoid oversaturating the industry by accident. And that's something you want to avoid, because if the industry is oversaturated with one product, it will actually be able to sometimes give you less than if you just sell at the freight depot. So I'm going to sell the other load at the freight depot instead of at the aluminium, not aluminium, the tool works. Just because, yeah, it makes more sense to sell it at the depot just to avoid overinflating the industry. But anyway, I've been recording for 45 minutes, so you know, I'm going to do a bunch of deliveries off camera, gain tons of money, and then we're going to build from aluminium plant to fishery, loop that round to machine shop, hopefully next episode. And if we do that next episode, hopefully that leaves time for farm sandbar, farm brickworks, like I've been teasing for 3 episodes. Anyways, goodbye.